A former NBA first-round pick says he believes his path to the WNBA could end in court, and what happens next could force one of America's fastest-growing sports leagues to answer a question it has never clearly answered before. Royce White, who has announced plans to enter the 2027 WNBA Draft, is now predicting what he calls a huge legal battle with the league. White says his legal team is examining every possible avenue after the WNBA pushed back on his plans, and he appears prepared to take the fight much further than a headline or social media stunt. And here's where this gets complicated. White is not simply a former basketball player trying to make an unusual comeback. He has become a prominent conservative political figure in Minnesota, and his proposed WNBA bid is directly connected to the national fight over transgender participation in women's sports. White says he identifies as transgender and argues that the WNBA's current rules could give him a pathway into the league. But there is a major question sitting right in the middle of this controversy. What do the WNBA's actual rules say? The league's current collective bargaining agreement states that only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA. But the eligibility language does not provide a detailed definition of women or spell out a specific transgender athlete procedure in that provision. The new CBA was finalized in 2026 and runs through 2032, making the issue especially significant because any eligibility dispute now sits inside a newly negotiated labor agreement. That ambiguity is exactly what White is trying to challenge. He argues that if the league interprets its rules in a way that prevents him from participating, he could take the matter to court. In an interview with Scoop B, White said his legal team is already looking into the issue and predicted the dispute could become a major legal battle. He also described himself as a potential #1 pick, adding another layer of provocation to an already explosive story. But there's an important distinction viewers need to understand. White has announced his intention to declare for the 2027 draft. That does not mean he has been accepted into the draft, selected by a team, or cleared to play in the WNBA. The league has not announced that White is eligible, and there has been no WNBA decision putting him on a roster. In fact, the league itself now appears to be taking the broader eligibility question seriously. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert told teams that league officials would discuss the issue, emphasizing that player eligibility rules are collectively bargained and that competitive integrity remains a priority. Reporting indicates a task force of team executives is expected to examine the controversy as the league weighs how its current language should be interpreted. And White is not the only former NBA player entering this fight. Cantor Freedom has also announced plans to enter the 2027 WNBA Draft, turning what might have been an isolated publicity stunt into a much larger confrontation over the league's eligibility rules. The WNBA Players Association has responded by emphasizing inclusion and condemning hate and political exploitation of the controversy. For White, though, this issue has an especially personal history. His NBA career was famously complicated by battles surrounding anxiety, fear of flying and requests for accommodations. Now, years after his brief NBA career, he is once again preparing for a confrontation with professional basketball, except this time, the battlefield may not be a basketball court at all. It could be a courtroom. And that's why this story may be much bigger than Royce White himself. If the WNBA rejects his eligibility, the central question could become whether the league's existing contractual language is specific enough to support that decision. If White challenges the decision legally, the case could force the league, its players' union and potentially a court to confront exactly how "women" is defined for professional basketball eligibility. At the same time, the WNBA is entering a period of enormous growth. The league's new CBA dramatically increases players' salaries, with the top maximum contracts projected to rise from $1.4 million in 2026 to more than $2.4 million by 2032. That means the stakes surrounding roster eligibility, player rights, and competitive rules are getting bigger too. So will Royce White actually play in the WNBA? Right now, there is no indication that he will. His declaration is a challenge, not a guarantee, and the league has not granted him eligibility. But if the WNBA ultimately blocks his path and White follows through on his threat of legal action, this unusual basketball story could become a national legal and political battle over how one of America's biggest women's sports leagues defines eligibility. And that may be the real story here. White isn't just asking whether he can enter a draft. He's testing what the rules actually mean, and whether those rules can survive the challenge he's promising to bring. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Unix Media, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news. Thanks for watching.